Hello everyone. We are going with another kayaking video. I just got everything rigged up and I went ahead and rigged all my rods up. So if you guys like anything that I'm using in the video, you guys can get a discount on it and it'll help support the channel and also give you guys a discount. Tomorrow, we are heading to Lake Hartwell. It's supposed to be super overcast, a chance of rain, and whole other little bits of goodies. So really hoping that we can catch some fish. Supposedly this is a weather front, so I'm really hoping that this is going to actually increase activity, not decrease it. But we're heading to Harbor Light Marina, which I've never been to. So hopefully all that's good. Hopefully all that's good, at least. But I will see you guys early in the morning. And good morning, everyone. I actually had a really good night's sleep, so I'm really excited about today. It's very overcast, still some scattered showers and whatnot. I sound like a weatherman right now. But I'm really hoping that it stays that way. And there's a very good reason for that. So boaters, like, you know, your teeny boppers that are just out there to tan and party and get crunk on the weekend, they're staying in. Because there's scattered showers and it's really overcast and stuff like that. So that's really good for me because I'm in a kayak. So that adds another level of safety to me. Even though I'm going to be staying in a lot of like no wake zones and like close to the shore and whatnot, in areas with like a really shallow draft, I don't want to be, I don't want to be around that. Especially during the summer, because it does not take a whole lot to flip a kayak, especially when it comes to a, you know, 150, 200, 300, 400 horsepower outboard. And like some of these inboards that some of these things have. And like, you know, 2 or 3 jet skis blowing past me going Mach Jesus. So it's really good, at least for me. But let's talk about conditions. There's supposedly going to be a little bit of wind, which is going to add a very small amount of chop. And whenever you're fishing a new body of water or somewhere that might be a little bit tough, then that can actually be your friend. Because what that's going to do is that's going to churn up the water column a little bit. And that is going to change out the forage and basically get things mixed up a little bit. Kind of think of it as a picking up a jar that's settled and then giving it a little shake, you know? How the sediment on bottom, it starts getting mixed up in the water column and whatnot. So different forage that these fish may have not seen in a long while or may have to really work for is now readily available in that water column. So that's one of the things that wind can do for you. Enough yapping. Let's get right to it. And here we are. So let's go ahead and get my remote. All that jazz. All that jazz. And let's start cooking with gas. Okay, so Sheriff Doc's here, it would seem. All right, so honestly, we're probably going to start with that Magnum walking bait because we got a very, 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 and I do mean very small amount of chop here. And then breaks up because this thing is one heavy girl. I'm not against deep cranking, it's just, it's boring. Heck, honestly, you know what? I'm gonna go to trolling. I'm just gonna troll a 5XD and just see what happens. herring lake, so sort of herring bait. Oh, that feels like a fish. Oh. That's a striper. Heck yeah. That's a freaking striper. Oh, and he popped off in the freaking net. There we go. There we go. That is a daggum striper. Ay, ay, ay. Bend me. Come on. Oh, one of his fins broke off on me. Come on. There we go. Oh, you took a good old hook into the face. Jesus. You took a nice hook into a face. All right, buddy. There you go. Whew, you are a feisty one. And not exactly the technique I would prefer to do it with, but hey, you know, could be worse. Which, I mean, it makes sense why he came up and hit, because we are kind of in like that wind-blown cove. So it very much does make sense why he came up and hit. But Buddy had a gnarly injury. Believe it or not, he did that to himself. You know what? I'm actually going to put on a 25. A 25-foot deep diver is not something that is really used a whole lot in bass fishing, except for those moments like this. There we go. All right. Then a striper will try to eat it. What is also nice is that the crankbait that I have is filled with BBs. So it is dunk, 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 dunk down there. So if literally anything is hungry, it is going to kill it. And I do mean kill this thing. It is actually gonna, like, it is gonna attack that thing. All right, we're gonna pull up real quick. Ooh. Oh, we got a fish on. Oh, that's a fish. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's a big largie. That is a big largie. Oh. 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 Oh, that is huge. Oh, that's good. Jesus. Let's get that hook out of your mouth, sir. Oh. Whew. Oh, you are a beauty. You're probably about 3 pounds. Whew, thank you for biting, sir. Oh, that is nice. That is so nice. Oh my God, they're just all offshore suspended. Oh, that is so nice. That's a fish. Oh, it popped. Dadgummit. Well, at least one of the nice things about trolling is that, especially if you're trolling a crankbait or anything like that, that could be really nice because it just keeps you from having to just do this all day. And especially with there being so much structure all throughout here, I can actually see this being a really great area for me to troll. Because a lot of it comes up to about 25 foot. So all I'm looking for is I'm watching my rod tip. And if it dips a whole bunch, or if I start spitting drag, then that means that I have a fish. Ooh, that's a big fish. That is a fish. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. That's a largie. Oh, it's a big old spot. Oh, hi, Shuck. Dag nabbit. Just a big old freaking spot. That's the fish. Yep, there we go. Come on, keep tension. Keep tension. Come on, don't jump. Don't jump and throw. Come on. Okay. Okay, that's a big boy. Whatever that is. Okay. Okay, he's got. Oh. Oh, there we go. That's a double treble. That's a double treble to the face. Ooh, come on, buddy. Come on. You're good. There we go, just a beautiful little largie. All right, have fun, buddy. So if you're seeing underwater trees just like that, you might think, oh, those are completely untouchable. But Lord, do I have some news for you. I am in 60 foot of water and I am trolling a 25 foot deep diving crankbait on a kayak. I mean, it is 59.6 feet. And what if I told you I am pulling bass off of these trees? And now I am going around and just kind of marking these on my fish finder, but that doesn't make these areas untouchable by any means. So if you have a 25 foot deep diver that you have never thrown before, give it a shot. Because trust me, you're gonna pull something up eventually. This deep water technique is going to rely on two things. You're going to need a heavier rod. Right here, this is a St. Croix Mojo Bass extra heavy moderate. And that is their Magnum cranking rod. And I have a Lose Super Duty 300 with 17-pound fluorocarbon. And 17-pound fluorocarbon is a little bit on the lighter end of what I would probably be using for this technique. Like that 15 to 17-pound range is if you're really, really trying to get into those trees and getting the most dive out of your crankbait. And speaking of trees, found some more, so I am going to mark those. And the next big thing is that you are going to need a fish finder and ideally a form of locomotion, aka a trolling motor, which is another really big thing of this, because you can paddle drive, all that, but a trolling motor and a large battery is going to make all of this incredibly easy compared to just paddling or anything like that. But using your depth finder, that is going to be the most key part of all of this, because those trees start at 60 foot. I can't find that with my eyes. I can barely even see past 5 foot. So if you're going to be looking for anything remotely close to that depth, you need to be able to see what's down there. So sonar is super important, and you can use high chirp. Like for example, let me just use regular standard high chirp, and I will show you. So yes, I have a fancy fish finder with down scan, side scan, with GPS mapping, all that whole shebang. But you don't need it. If you have a depth finder that's like $50, it only has high chirp, doesn't even have GPS or anything like that, you can still see these trees. And we're about to go back into that deeper water, and I'm gonna show you what that's gonna look like. So these arches are going to be your fish. All this, that surface noise, that surface return, you don't need any of that. That's fine. You're looking for trees. Ideally, yeah, if you get in front of a fish, that fish may bite. So if I pass over him with my crankbait and probably about now, he may or may not chase it. But here's more fish right here, sitting out in those in that kind of structure right there. So if I go on my down scan, that's going to be more clear. But if I go back to my high chirp sonar, it's going to look kind of like that. So you're not going to see it as clearly. But if you're looking for stacked arches like that, then you're probably going to be looking at fish that are in these trees. So troll over that. That can be one of the things that can really help you get on some fish, is literally just high chirp sonar. And like, look, there's another tree, marking it. So if I ever come back out here, I know there are trees right there. And I can drop down on that either with a drop shot, or I can hit that with a deep diving crankbait and crawl over that. And I know it's going to be right there. So that is huge for me. And I do mean huge. So mark your trees. Please mark your trees. They help you. Mark your underwater structure. Even if it's in 50 foot of water, if you are trolling, you need to know it is there. Because if you're passing over it and your crankbait is 30 yards behind you, it's gonna get snagged if it's in 20 foot of water. If you're throwing a 25 foot deep diver, it is going to get snagged. So you need to know to pull that crankbait up. And that is by stopping and just letting your crankbait float back up to surface. But I am putt-putting at kind of the faster range of things at 3 miles an hour. You can go around 2 miles an hour and kind of crawl that crankbait through that water, because your crankbait is going to match the speed that you are going. So if you really want to crawl that crankbait through that structure, slow down to about 2 miles an hour, and you are just going to halt down to just a little crawl. And you can see that in my rod tip. It's not pulling a whole lot. I'm at like 1.9 to 2 miles an hour, and it's just kind of, that's all it's really doing. But what do you want for your settings on your rod? Well, here's how I like to run it. I like to run it where I can easily pull drag out. So anywhere in this range is going to be a good starting range for you. If it is super, super tight, you're going to run into some issues. These are treble hooks. You can very easily rip the hooks out of fish's mouths. And that can be very detrimental to any kind of trolling that you're doing. Because the idea is to catch fish, not hook into a fish and then rip it out of its mouth. But deep diving crankbaits, you want it to be getting down to about the depth that you are going to be fishing at. So if I'm fishing in 30 feet of water, 25 is the deepest that I can go. That is the deepest crankbait that they make on the market, at least that I know. That is the deepest that you should be using for bass fishing, because bass are not typically going to be going much deeper than that. Yeah, see, tree, mark it. So what am I looking at here? So I've got a few smaller arches, one right there and one right there, and those are going to be fish. And we notice that the tops of those trees are around 25 foot. So knowing that crankbait is going to go right over those trees. So here's the top of the trees. It's going to go crazy over the tops of those trees, or even possibly kind of bump into them a little bit. And deflecting off of those trees can easily make a bass have a reaction strike and come up and eat it. But we're looking for these bass to be hungry on those trees and just come up and smack it and eat it, and just having it pass over. Yeah, see, another tree, mark. As soon as I see it on that graph, I am marking it. Because if I want to make multiple passes at it, or if I want to come back, I can easily do that. Because deep cranking is one of the best things that you can do in the summer. And yeah, I can take cast after cast after cast, but trolling that deep crankbait is going to do so much more for me than just taking casts at it. It's going to be better on me. It's going to be better in the long run. It's more time efficient. Oh, there we go. So it went whoop and then immediately back. So that is probably a fish. So something hit it. I think it's just an empty crankbait. Yeah, so it's just an empty crankbait. But notice just how much that rod was bending because of how much force was being applied to that crankbait just by pulling it in the water. Literally just by trying to reel it through the water. That is how much force is being applied to that deep diving crankbait. So if I threw a 7-foot medium fast in this rod holder, it would probably snap. Yep, more trees. So marking that. Okay, so that's a fish. Okay, so oh, he is just on the daggum surface. All right, so he's got treble hook. All right, so oh. Oh, I did not like how he was hooked, so I didn't want to deal with him. But oh my God. Oh, that's funny. Oh yeah. Yeah, something teethed that real good. Ripped the paint off of it. Both sides. Holy. Yeah, something came for it right there. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, he ain't ready. He ain't ready. Oh, there we go. There we go. Knew there'd be something in there. All right, let's power pull down. There we go. Big girl. Oh, thank you for biting, big girl. Whew. That's probably about a 3. There we go. Thanks, big girl. Well, hello to you too. Oh, that was good. Knew there'd be something back here. And that'll be it for today. I am absolutely starving. The sun is starting to very, very slightly bleed through, so I know it's going to get a lot worse. But I know today was a little bit more out of the ordinary for usual techniques that I'm going to be throwing. But summer fishing is all about adapting. And that's something that I want you guys to work on, is adapting to what is going on with your body of water. All of these fish were hanging around trees, underwater structure, and I found that and I executed with a 25-foot deep diving crankbait, a 15-foot diving crankbait, and a bladed jig, as you guys just saw, pulling that little Sheila out of that wood. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off the water, get some food. I am starving. Have fun catching fish, people. Peace.